Hello and welcome, feelings havers. We're back in what for us will have been only a few minutes because of the time dilation effects. For you will have been possibly several months.
I often think about time dilation and people smoking heavily amounts of weed.
Yeah, there was some weird herbal high stuff going around back when I was in high school. And it was like one of those things that wasn't weed, but you could buy it and smoke it, and they said it was going to do something to you.
I remember.
Yeah, and you know, because it was cheap, because
they
it
used
was
to
legal.
sell those at music festivals.
Yeah, and I can't remember what this one was.
Sold a lot of them.
Oh, Happy High Herbs was such a scam.
Oh no, 100%, 100%.
It's just like, yeah, okay, it's got to, like, I don't know what this shit. I can't remember what it was, but I think its only fucking thing that it did would be to just make you like not remember the last 4 hours or some shit, because time just vanished.
I see.
Yeah, like for real. Like the one time I actually got pretty zonked on it, I was at my fucking friend's house in like his shitty downstairs apartment that was just always dank and kind of afternoon dark, and that's really bad for perceiving the flow of time in general.
100%.
But I'll never forget just being down there and checking my watch, and it's like, all right, you know, we're there after school, so it's like 3:30. And then I looked down and checked my watch, and what felt like, honest to Christ, like a minute or two had gone by, and it was 5:30. I'm just like, okay, I gotta get the fuck out of like this black hole void that I'm in. I'm not sure of what the utility of that is as a narcotic, you know? It's like, what does this do? Well, it gets you high and things are funnier. Okay. It makes food taste better. Okay. What's this do? Our stuff just gets deleted. You know that weird...
Getting you prepared for dementia late in life.
You know that weird stand your housemate keeps trying to explain to you? It's just that, but like a grass. It's like, yeah, just huff that. You'll do stuff, apparently.
Someone was telling me about JoJo's the other day, and I got really... Like, I don't know anything about JoJo's.
Yeah.
But there's a character that has my last name, and because like they're all music names, and like obviously Elvis Costello.
Oh, right.
So I was just like, I was very weirded out.
It's one of those things where every time I get a bit explained to me, it's like a combination of something genuinely clever and then just the most annoyingly stupid thing I've ever heard. Like, I'll have like, oh yeah, what's this person do? Well, they've got like, you know, they can control the weather. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's a power I understand. So this guy's got like a goblin that lives in him, and that goblin can control the weather. Okay. Yeah. And also he can shoot rainbows, and if you touch them, you turn into a snail. What the fuck what? Why are those things together? Like,
JoJo's is what normal people think Dragon Ball Z is.
Are there normal people anymore? I feel like everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is now.
Mostly. Yeah.
I feel like that's gone. Like back when I was still renting the Dragon Ball movies at like a bootleg fucking anime place. That was unique, but that ship's bye-byes. It got turned into a fucking snail by a rainbow. I don't know.
It's still crazy to me that they released a Dragon Ball fighting game on the PlayStation from the GT era when on TV Dragon Ball Z was only up to the Frieza saga. So it just had all these crazy characters and forms you had no clue about, and they're all translated wrong with their names too.
Oh yeah, that would have been back when they were like just taking liberties.
And like Goku was voiced by like Steve Bloom.
I mean, like, I'm sure that probably doesn't fit, but like, I
like it.
I hate his grandma voice.
I like Bloomku.
You know, like, I get it's like she's the lady that was doing it back when Goku was a little kid, and that's fine. Her as Goku as a little kid, that's fine. Her as an adult man is like, all right, look, you're sacrificing something here for this legacy.
Step off Grand Coup.
Fuck you.
Anyway, on with the show.
So today's twist is Dog by Night, and we didn't even have a cold open. It was just like, here's the fucking title sequence, and then we kind of got the little opening bit, which was, you know, like I'm kind of confused. Like, why not just, I don't know, mingle it into the rest of the episode?
I don't know. It was a good opening bit. I liked it. Because like there was a posh dinner table, there was candles, the table was set at the lighthouse, and this was way more class than anyone in this family ever has.
It kind of gave me like Bronson's idea of class vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it has like a child whose understanding of class differences is Warner Brothers cartoons.
Because they were like talking posh, and it was like, Faye, can you pass the water, please?
Yeah, and then Pete comes downstairs.
And he tries to sit at the table, and Tony's like, no, 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 no.
The table's not for you.
Your dinner is here. And he points down, and there is a bowl with the name Pete on it, and 2 empty dog food cans, and they're in the bowl.
And it's just lumpy brown. We're not talking about even the good dog food.
Because like sometimes dog food are like, you smell it and you're like, that could be all right. I like the smell of that. You don't want to eat it because you know it's going to be heinous, but it's got a hint of like, that smells like real food.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that's like, oh, this is made of fake puke.
It really, it just looked vile.
Ugh.
But that's Pete's dinner.
And then like a lightning font hit of like
Yeah,
dog
and there's
by
like
night.
a howl and then dog by night.
I don't know what the lightning had to do with anything, but
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like sometimes they are a little scattershot with like the thematic connection
it's
of what the
someone in
monster is and
clip art
shit.
clicking on different fonts.
I suppose, yeah, this is just
We
one
got to
of those.
remember, it's early
Yeah.
2000s.
There's kind of maybe just Photoshop exists. Before that, I don't even know what you did. You had to go get a painter or some shit. Like when you look at how title sequences used to be made when they had to like fucking have cameras pointing at 4 kinds of glass. It's like, fuck me, man. I don't know why you even bothered. Here's a movie. Oh, yeah, here's a cunt. There we go. Title sequences are expensive.
And we open with Linda sitting on a park table.
Like it's
picnic
one of those
table.
little picnic tables that they have in the parks, but like she's just on the table
She's meditating, and in her head, she's talking about not speaking.
And then naturally Bronson rolls up to just irritate the shit out of her to get her to talk.
And it's like, he's like, you know, I'm okay. I'm a boy. Like I could take not speaking, but to girls, it's like breathing. And it's like, Bronson, you talk more than anyone.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually. And I mean, I feel like this is all deliberate, though. Like, he's just saying shit that he knows is going to fucking set fucking Linda off. I mean, she could just hit him. You know, like that's... You could say it with fists.
I feel the family had to introduce a very early no-hitting Bronson policy because everyone was going there.
It's just... Yeah, like, he's kind of off already. We don't want to add CTE to this. And look, you know... This is a volume game. Just ask the UFC, you know, like just...
Oh, God.
It adds up. Sadly, it adds up.
So, like, yeah. And then Bronson's like, oh, look, it's Mrs. Offenbach. And I thought he was talking about a person,
So did I.
but it's a dog.
Yeah, it's a
that
German
Fiona's
Shepherd.
walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a German Shepherd. And then we also see a poster for a circus, and it says Count Dracumite.
Yeah, it's a flea circus,
A flea circus, yeah.
which is going on in like a corner of the park in this sad, sad little town.
So Pete runs up and is like, I knew it. Fiona's like seeing someone because she's standing with this guy, and he's going on and on about it. And then
Yeah, it was my idea, and I broke up with her.
yes, I dumped Fiona. Yes, I've been chasing other girls since, but I never got one, so it doesn't count.
That fucking cracked me up. Because that... Oh, God. Every time you see someone attempt like an open relationship, and it's just like, hey, you're stupid.
So then they go to the tent, and the ringleader's there telling, you know, people to come see the fabulous, you know, Count Dracumite at the Transylvania Flea Circus.
They're lucky. Australia's lucky it has so many Greek people around to play various European ethnicities.
Bronson pays to get in.
Yeah, he's real excited.
Fiona can't get in at first because they've got a dog, and he's like, no dogs, you know, or garlic.
I mean, I don't know what, like, I do kind of, like, get irritated by people that just bring dogs everywhere.
There, I shit you not, one night at karaoke, again, in a fucking bar, it was bad enough, it was between 9 and then 10 p.m. and there's kids there, and I'm talking about, like,
That's funny.
5 and 6-year-olds, but someone had a dog,
Mama's gotta sing.
a service dog, and it's like, this is a loud place.
I think, like, maybe a service dog can...
But it was like
I'd like to think
it
a
was
service
one
would be
in
trained.
It was
I know,
one
yeah.
in training. Like
Oh, yeah,
it
no.
wasn't. The person didn't even need it there.
That's funny. Maybe that's like the service dog's, like, exam or something.
Maybe.
It's like, can you handle karaoke? Because there's going to be a lot of sounds here. So you gotta be able... There's kids here for some reason as well. That's probably a bigger problem.
I guess, and like, God, I feel sorry for the kids because they were all trying to get up and sing songs from like that Netflix anime K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh god.
They're all in Korean. They're Korean mixed with English songs. So like the kids are struggling as is because they're really young. But like, it gets to the Korean part. Oh,
I mean, I figured they'd just at this point be able to fucking, copy it phonetically or something. I mean,
you definitely can, like, if you hear it enough. But like again, these are very young kids, and it's bad enough getting a young kid up on a stage because like they just freeze.
yeah.
Because everyone's looking at them, and they're a very young child.
Yeah. This is more attention than you're used to.
Yeah.
That's funny. Children at the 10 p.m. fucking...
In a bar. In a fucking bar.
Because, like, there are, like, because there is that sort of community, because, again, some places the pub is the only place.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are, like, there is, like, afternoon shit where it's meant to be, like, yeah, you can get lunch and stuff. Like, it's not unusual to see, like, just kids around. But, like, at 10 p.m., it's like...
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Generally, most places are, like, by 9 p.m.,
This is a bar now,
no
and
kids.
yeah.
No kids.
This is now an 18-only venue. No, just fucking kids running around. What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, it was... Because, like, I wanted to get up and sing Eminem, which had a lot of obscenities in it. And I'm like, I don't feel super comfortable shouting out...
Hey, kids, want to learn some swears?
when there is young children around.
It's just like... Because there's, again, like, yeah...
I mean, like, I wouldn't be wrong, because, like, it's...
No, yeah, they're in the wrong spot.
Exactly.
You didn't go to a kindergarten and go, all right, here's some Eminem. Like, because, yeah, I'd be like, well, you've done the wrong thing there. Got to learn about rap gods one day.
Yeah. So they have to take the dog away. Pete and Linder are then coming in.
Everyone in the town is really excited for this fucking flea circus,
Pete's going on about how he won't talk to girls from now on, all this sort of thing. And the first thing he does when he walks in is there's 3 women and they go, "Hi, Pete."
Yeah, to be fair, like, I will say, he said something and then 3 hot goth girls said hello. And like, all right, look, if that happens in high school, that's not your fault. You didn't do that, yeah.
But the town hates Pete for some reason. They're all telling him to shut up.
I mean, for a lot of valid reasons, but like, yeah. I feel like they're all telling him, I think they all dislike him for like a completely unique reason per person. I like to think they just all remember all the other episodes and other shit. And it's just like, hey, you just caused trouble around here. We're trying to enjoy a flea circus, and we don't know what's happening.
Everyone's so jazzed for this flea circus.
They really are. And they don't want to be part of shenanigans.
No.
And as it is, what happens? He he ruins the flea circus.
Because the ringmaster's talking about how the flea's going to get shot out of a cannon into a trampoline on the ceiling, and he's going to bounce around and then land into like this heated pool.
Yeah.
And he's like, now please, like, no one stand up. He's like, make sure you don't move, so we don't want to make the flea jumpy.
Yeah, because like the trampoline is going to be bouncing off is like behind the audience.
Yeah. And Pete's just all concentrated on the guy. Because, like, starts to put his arm around Fiona. Yeah. He's like, oh, the old yawn and, like, stretch trick. He's like, no, he can't be. He is. And then Pete stands up as the flea gets shot. And he gets shot, and it goes straight into Pete's face.
Yeah.
Bam.
And then none of them can find the fucking flea. Even though, really, I feel like you could just go, hey, maybe it flew into the fucking dipshit that stood up. Hey, you dipshit standing up when I said nobody should stand up.
And the guy's like, I a 50K Klopek reward. 50,000 gold Klopex to the...
I gotta look up Klopex.
To the person who can find the flea. And I'm like, dude, if all your circuses is one flea, that's not a circus. Where are your other acts?
Yeah, see, the only thing that I could think of was like Klopek was the last name of the fucking like creepy neighbors from the Burbs.
Is Klopek real?
Well, it's the last name of these characters from the Burbs. I don't think it's like a currency. Maybe it is.
I don't think
I'm not seeing anything about a currency. But I also, have watched The Burbs recently. So, like, maybe it's detecting that.
Well, I searched Klopek, Transylvania, and nothing came up.
All right.
No, it's literally, just The Burbs.
I do love that movie. It's got one of those weird little line deliveries that just stuck in my head forever. Where, like, they go to visit, like, the creepy neighbors to try and, like, be nice and not judgmental about, like, weird-looking cunts. And, like, while they're there, the weird looking cunts are, being hospitable. And the food that they've got offered, which is actually nice and I enjoy, is large pretzels with sardines. But, these are Americans, so they're freaked out by, sardines. But there's just this lady sitting there trying not to touch anything or look at anything, and then the weird fucking ginger walks up and just goes, "Sardine?" and tries to, hand her a tin of sardines. And that has just been burnt into my head for, 30 fucking years.
So everyone, the circus is over because the one act is done.
I know. I thought he did have, maybe he had other acts, and just the disappearance of Dracula is kind of like, well, now, we're not. This is more important.
Possibly.
One of the kids is missing. The birthday's over.
So we cut to the lighthouse, and Tony and Faye are trying to think of baby names.
Oh wait, hang on. We forgot that the flea is a tiny little CG flea.
It's a CGI'd flea, and he has kind of the old style Dracula makeup.
Yeah, with
very white and the red highlights.
Cummerbund and shit.
So, and Tony's like,
I swear they stole it from an old Mortine ad or something.
Probably. Tony is like, what about Oliver? I think Oliver's a good name for a baby. And Faye's like, no, that's a terrible name for a baby. And he's like, well, why? And he goes, Olive Twist. And I'm like, yes, name your baby that, please.
Yep. Twist, there's not a lot you can... Twist just is what it is. I probably wouldn't call the kid Oliver, but yeah,
Call the kid Dick. Hey, Dick Twist. So Pete comes in and he's like, can you think of any names, kids? And he's like, why not Fido? And he says a few dog names. And then Tony's got a plate of meat that he's just been preparing. And Pete just comes over and sticks his face in it and starts scarfing it.
My plate of meat! My plate of unseasoned, unsauced, no sides meat!
Tony's like, Pete, are you okay? Your nose is all cold and wet. I want to know how he knows his nose is wet without touching it.
You could argue it's got meat on it, I suppose, but yeah. The temperature is I don't know how he came to that fucking conclusion.
Pete's like, it just means I'm healthy. That's good, right?
You just ate all my health meat, so sure.
So they're a little freaked out, and he's like, you're acting like a dog. And he's like, no, the only thing I am is dog tired. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, and then Bronson starts talking about Linda's vow of silence. And there were some solid Bronsonisms in this episode. Because he's like, oh, you're taking a vow of silence? And then Bronson goes, yeah, it's how the ancient monkeys achieved excitement.
It's a good part. The whole, because Bronson keeps trying to say words that have been said to him.
Or not even to him, around him.
Yeah.
He's heard it through 3 shelves at a supermarket, and so he doesn't hear the word. He hears the sounds, and then his brain computes that to a word that he does know. And that's how ancient monks achieve enlightenment becomes ancient monkeys achieved excitement.
That's fantastic.
Here's where I wrote, flea graphics are not great.
God, they're not. Because, Pete's in bed.
It could have just been a dot, we didn't need this.
We've got, a CGI of, the flea in the hair follicles on the scalp. And it's wild.
It really,
Because, there's been some really good CGI in this show. This was not one of them.
It's 2000. This was before CG could do, a whole character.
Yeah.
You could, do some shit. But this was before even Toy Story could, have more than Spike.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even animate the mum. Because it's this will kill the computers we're using to do this. We can't fucking, we're having to do Spike, and he looks like something that's wrong already.
So, the moon's out, it's nighttime, and Dracula bites Pete. And he starts transforming. And something that always kills me when they do werewolf transformations is it looks really bad at first. It always looks really bad because the hair that grows doesn't look like hair. It looks like pubes.
Yeah. You've just got sudden face pubes.
Yeah, it's really wispy. It doesn't look like hair. I think they did glue pubes to Pete's face. I think it was his idea.
Just a little bit of ABC hazing. It had been like that bit in Jackass.
Yeah.
Where they've exactly
Mark Mitchell got drunk and just came in and glued them to Pete's face.
Who brought crabs to the party?
So yeah,
I
he starts.
think by the end of it, the weredog like makeup effects were reasonably good.
Yeah, no, by
Like,
the end of it, absolutely. But the start is really bad, and then the tail comes out, and the tail just looks like rope they've tied some hair to.
yeah, the tail doesn't look great.
It looks awful.
Yeah,
Because the way it comes out is just like
it does look
someone's
like yeah.
pulled it with a string, and it's just kind of floating there weirdly.
It does look like he's just taking like a feral shit.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that. It just when you see it, your brain doesn't register it as a tail.
No.
Like you're not going, oh look, a tail that like is coming out from like the tailbone. It's like, oh that doesn't look healthy.
But yeah, he breaks out. He like howls, and like runs to the toilet to like look at himself, while he's in the sky door opens and the portal.
Oh yeah, the pan-dimensional entity steps through and just
Yeah.
goes.
Oh, is this a bad time? And then
Yeah.
like Pete looks at her and just starts growling and barking, and she's like, I'll
chases
come back
her
later.
off. The bullies show up.
Yeah, there's a knock on the door downstairs. The bully just walk in.
They sort of like they bring that up later, and I do like that.
Yes.
Like, they just let themselves in.
Because like the door is knocked, and then they just open and come.
Yeah.
And they're like looking, like we're looking for this this Transylvanian flea. You know, you got to be careful because of a bite, or if you get bitten, it'll turn you into like a howling werewolf. All this stuff. And Tony, I love it because Tony goes, "Oh, pull the other one, boys," and fucking one of them goes, "That's what the circus master said." Why would he lie?
Yeah, I know. I think it's rabbit. No, tiger.
Tiger.
That
Yeah,
just
it's tiger. Just the sincerity in his voice
Yeah.
and face. Why would he lie?
No, it's delivered in the same way Jesse Plemons says, "How would that be profitable for Frito-Lay?" When, like, I can't remember the name of the movie. It's genuinely, it's a reasonably good movie. Like, it overcomplicates itself, but like Jesse Plemons just plays this fucking weirdo in it, and they don't want to hang out with this fucking weirdo. So when they're going into the house with all their party supplies, they say they're not having a party. There was just a sale on for Fritos chips that was like buy one get two free, and there's just this long pause that he thinks and goes, "How would that be profitable for Frito-Lay?" And that's the exact tone of just like, why would the flea master lie that like fucking Tiger says?
Yeah.
And it's a really funny tone. It's hard. I don't think Tiger was intending to do that.
No.
He just sort of landed on it accidentally. But it's whenever it shows up, it's such great, weirdly out of place seriousness.
Then they are interrupted by like a lot of howling, and the boys are like, "A werewolf!" and they like run away out the door. And Pete climbs out the window.
Yeah, he puts like a ladder up to like the window, and it's like it doesn't even look like a window that opened.
No.
And then just sort of jumps out. It's like, all right, you got weredog powers, I suppose. That's fine. I mean, I don't think dog coming out of window and safe together. Like, if you were some kind of werecat, it'd be like, all right, yeah, you'll just, you'll be fine. But like,
Lighthouses are tall.
yeah, and dogs are like just clumsy as fuck.
So Greville and Matron are out for a night walk, and they're shocked because a public rubbish bin has been overturned. There's rubbish everywhere, so they start trying to.
You know what?
Pick it up.
To his credit, he starts just tidying up the fucking park himself, because god damn it,
The funny thing in this episode, that's like all we get of Gribble. We see him do one good deed.
Yeah,
They get punished for it.
A surprisingly small amount of Gribble Senior.
So while he's bending over, picking up the rubbish, like Pete comes up and starts sniffing his ass. And he gets very scared by this, because he turns around, there's like a snarling wolf thing there.
Yeah.
And they run away. I can't remember what he said. I didn't write it down.
He's just screaming about like some kind of, wild animal, basically.
And then Pete's relieving himself on a tree, and then spots the dog from earlier, Mrs. Offenbach, and he's like, "Oh, Mrs. Offenbach," and he falls in love with the dog, and the dog gives him
A chew toy.
a bone, chew toy, and he overhears the guy with Fiona.
Yeah, who we find out is called Maurice.
Maurice.
And he kind of looks a bit like a Swedish android.
He does.
So
there, he's like, I'm surprised no one's like with you, Fiona. And she's like, "Oh, I thought I was with someone, but like didn't work out. Turns out he's just a boy." It's like, you're more mature. Of course he's mature. His name is Maurice.
Yeah, that's him. Like, you're either gonna go insane and be a delinquent, or you're gonna be like, a kind of
30 at age 15.
yeah, a little gentleman.
And so they're embracing each other, and then Pete just attacks him.
And it's kind of funny because, like, all right, it's ABC. They can't do like fucking, Werewolf in London effects, but it is still sort of like, as good as it is. It's one of those werewolf transformations where you're supposed to be able to see who it is. Basically, it's kind of like one you'd kind of see on, like, I don't know, one of those like cheap shows for teenage girls. Because you don't want to cover up your handsome like boy with like too much fucking makeup. So it is just like Harry. You just been attacked by Harry Pete. Like, I'm not sure how you're too confused by this.
Yeah.
It's like that is still just Pete. Like, no one's like confused by this.
We cut to the lighthouse the next morning, and Bronson and Linda come out of the house, and they're like, they're worried about Pete because Tony's upset because he's been out all night and they don't know where he is. And there he is on the ground in front of them.
Yeah, it's just on the doorstep with like some Maurice pants in his mouth.
Yeah, and they're like, Pete, like, what are you doing? Where have you been? And Pete goes inside, and Tony like starts telling him off for being out all night. And he's like, you're acting like an animal. You need to start acting like a real human being.
I'm a human being. It's like, that's probably the most serious parenting that Tony's ever done.
Why does he care now?
I know, like, it's too little too late. Your child's in a fursuit in a park at 2 a.m. No amount of conversation is going to fix this.
So Pete goes to his room, and then he pulls out the bone. And he starts fantasizing about Mrs. Offenbach and being with her forever.
When the girlfriend's more successful in the open relationship, just desperation takes hold.
And then he's like, we get as a cut to the town, and there's a paper being extra, about.
Yeah, like an actual, newspaper seller is talking about, like, wild animal attack in the park.
And Gribble's going through the town with his van with a speaker on the top saying, there's a wild dog in town.
Offering a bounty.
And we gotta be careful about it.
Gribble offers a surprising amount of bounties for, like, a local real estate agent. Is he the mayor? I can't even remember. I think Nell's like the MP for the fucking, district or something. But
I think like he was running for mayor, and they were like, they didn't want him to win, but it seems like he won anyway.
Yeah. Well, you own all the shops, so I suppose, yeah. It's just, let's just make this a weird company town run by a dictator mayor.
And the Gribble boys have they have like a checkpoint set up with a ring of garlic on a door entrance. And they're telling people to just step through. And Fiona and Maurice are like, no, let this walk away. And then the Twist kids come up, and Bronson's like, he's talking about garlic and like Gribble's breath smelling bad. Bad enough to wake the dead or something. And they're like, just step through the ring. And the first two go through, and Pete like trips to fall on the outside of it and go past it because he doesn't want to go through the garlic ring.
Yeah, and then he just says like, like something about not being able to like see where his paws are or something.
And he goes, I mean feet. And they're like, look at him, slightly odd.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it's one of the things of like the bullies just being able to figure out what's going on in the episode before everybody else because they seem to remember. It's just like, okay, we're looking for a weredog. Oh, Pete said pause. Oh, it's him. Thank you for fucking being able to perceive this shit. Of course it's him.
Meanwhile, Bronson is like got his smell sucker.
Yeah, we cut back to the house, and Bronson has his weird fucking Cronenberg nose vacuum.
He's like, oh, moldy old dog slobber, music to my nose.
I don't want to know what the payoff for this is. I know I have to find out. I know that, like, my destiny is just flung me straight toward this knowledge, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I don't want to think about where this can go.
It'll come. Linda opens the door, and Bronson's like taken aback because like he's been found out. He's like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything," and They start walking downstairs, and Bronson's just having a whole conversation with Linda, but she's not talking.
Yeah,
So
this is kind of a thing that this is what Pete was doing to her when he was in line for the flea circus. It was like the family just talking at her sort of thing.
Yeah, and like interpreting her as thoughts and saying stuff. He's like, oh, maybe Pete got bit by the thing. Oh, I don't know about that, Linda, blah, blah, blah. They're going downstairs, and then they open the toilet door, and Pete's just in there drinking the toilet water. And he pulls back, and the next scene is them banging on his door, going, Pete, come out. And Pete wants the flea to bite him, and Bronson's like, if you get bit 3 times, you're out. It's like, where did this knowledge come from?
I feel like that's some of that shit that probably should have been like I don't know, maybe it was in the clutter of what the bullies were saying, because I feel like that would have come up from like Mr. Flea Master.
Yeah,
but it just
because they all they said was if you get bit, you'll turn into a howling werewolf forever, but they didn't say anything about 3 bites.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've missed that here somewhere, and so Pete,
I'm gonna bet that it didn't come up.
No,
I'm gonna bet this is now that like. Because, like, I didn't even realize that he'd only change if the flea bit him again. Like, I figured it was just like, oh, yeah, they're going to have to, like, catch the flea maybe and use some kind of weird shit to get him to stop turning into a dog monster.
But no. So Pete's locked in his room. The flea comes, the moon comes out. It's nighttime now. And the flea's been sleeping in a matchbook. So it slides back, and we see the awful CGI flea up close. And it goes crazy and jumps onto Pete and bites him again. And Pete's like happy that he's transformed because he gets to go see his dog love.
Oh
god.
I remember writing this. I'm uncomfortable where this is going.
Pete and Linda are like start hearing the howling and the screaming, and they're like, let's go, let's run to our rooms because they're scared.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just leave Pete to deal with this.
The next shot is Pete like howling on the lawn, and you just hear "Shut up, mongrel!" and then he gets hit by his shoe. Then meets up with Mrs. Offenbach, and the next
it's like a visual novel fucking
30-40 seconds of still photos of him and the dog with the screen covered in like the pink sort of like heart,
with like the love heart wipe kind of like thing, and the music playing,
like he's reading a book with the dog in one shot. Got the Lady and the Tramp classic spaghetti,
and it's not like it's just a dog and like they've got sort of Pete narrating its thoughts. It is just, again, this is just hairy Pete.
Yeah.
It's him delivering these lines to this fucking dog. It's a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Like he's just, I'm so glad they didn't make him try to kiss it.
We see the Gribble boys dressed up in like cricket gear for like protection, and they're coming to hunt Pete. They find him and they're like, we've got you, like wolf boy, and he starts running away. And they chase him. And
it's funny because the Pete actor is doing his best to do like an all-four,
It's hard.
Run. Yeah, no, like unless you've got a well-developed upper body and like really flexible shoulders, humans aren't really like, it's been a while since we've been scooting around on all 4.
And the scene ends with the Gribbles not catching him, but the local dog catcher for the pound, he catches him.
Yeah, just a gotcha, and then just.
And the next scene is Pete walking out of the pound with Tony. And woof, because like Tony's like, what are you doing, Pete? You've been out all night, 2 nights in a row, and now you're at the pound. It's like, you're acting like an animal. And Pete goes, but Dad, I am an animal. I'm a dog trapped in a boy's body. And you just see Tony's face. Because, like, Tony's trying to process everything that's going on. And Pete's like, I found my true love, Mrs. Offenbach. And Tony's just like, why couldn't you been queer?
Just let it wash over you. Just let it wash over you.
And then Pete sees...
Can't you just be a homo?
Pete sees Mrs. Offenbach with Maurice's dog, a schnauzer, and he starts freaking out. He's like, I thought you loved me, and he starts crying, and Mrs. Offenbach, and he howls, and Tony just kind of tries to comfort him, but not really sure what to do. So we get, and he's like, I don't want to be a dog.
At least that's over quickly.
And then we go back to the lighthouse, and they're preparing flea killer shampoo to get the flea. and the Gribble boys barge in, and they're like, "How did you get in here?" What do they say?
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, like Gribble Jr. just goes, "Don't worry about that." In like again, this tone of voice that's sort of the tone is like perfectly we want to talk about the thing that comes after this sentence. So don't worry about that. And because they don't want the flea killed because they want to get the
want the reward.
Yeah,
so they're like, you want the flea gone, we want the reward. Let's it looks like we have to work together. And Bronson's like, yeah, okay. And then they're all scouring Pete, trying to find the flea. They're like, the flea's not here. Well, it's sun time. Like maybe he's hiding. And they're like, we need some. Bronson's like, we need some flea bait. And Pete goes, oh, that's me, right? And they'll go, right.
And it's just like him sitting on the couch, the guitar, playing a song about how his blood's delicious.
And he's alone.
Yeah.
And they're all crouched behind the couch wearing like nets over their faces so the flea can't get them. But they all have exposed arms.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there waiting. The flea eventually starts coming down the stairs. Linda sees it straight away, but doesn't want to say anything because she's got a vow of silence. Yeah. So she's sitting there going, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to talk. And she eventually is like, look out, it's there. And Pete moves, and the flea misses and bites the dog.
I didn't even see the fucking dog there.
The dog was not there.
Yeah, like
the dog was not there.
They had a big like establishing shot of the lounge room because now it's like a set. So they have like a fucking dolly shot of the lounge, and it's like
the dog was not there.
Yeah,
100%. I remember. Anyway, it bites the dog. I was hoping something was going to happen with that.
Yeah, like
it didn't.
Just turn into some fucking hairy girl or something. Like, I don't know.
They catch the flea with a jar on top of the dog.
I mean, a flea is easy to get in human hair. It is not easy to get in like fur.
No. At this point, like Tony and Faye come downstairs, and Tony's like, Pete, like, I just wanted to say, like, I'm your father and you're my son. And if you want to like live a dog's life and it makes you happy, he's like, I'm happy with that. And Pete's like, oh, what? I don't want to do that anymore. And Tony's like, oh, thank God.
I wrote, Tony supports Pete's trans dog life.
He does, but he doesn't. He doesn't want to have to, but it's his...
Yeah, look, he preferred not to, but like, all right,
Fiona then breaks up with Maurice. She's like, I need someone with a little bit more animal magnetism, foreshadowing that Pete might get back together with her if he stops being a dick. Because he was always wanting a woman, and he got a woman. Yeah. And then he was like, you know what? I deserve more women. No, you don't. You don't deserve the first one.
Yeah. What? It's not like you were spoilt for choice here.
You live in Port Noranda. There are like 4 women.
Yeah. And like more boys. So like you've managed to beat the stats here.
Yeah.
And they were not in your fucking favor.
They bring the flea to the circus master, and they're like, oh. He's really happy that the flea's back because he's the only one who can do the shot. And then Gribble's like, yeah, enough about that. He's like, what about the Klopex? And he's like, the reward. And he's 50,000 gold Klopex. And he gives out like a little
bag,
sack with coins jattling. He's like, maybe you would like the money in Australian cash dollars. And he gives him a $5 note. Enough to buy an ice cream for all of you.
I reckon I could probably sell 50,000 gold Klopex to like a cash converters for more than $5.
If it's made of actual solid gold,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
because gold is worth a bit in weight alone. Because the thing is, like, the hard thing you learn about the world is jewelry stores screw you. Because you'll go in and you'll pay like $1,000 for this beautiful looking ring. When you bring it to a second-hand shop, the second-hand shop are not buying it for the ring. They're buying it for the price of gold. Gold and the weight of gold. There's not a lot of gold in these rings.
Oh, fuck no.
So your ring that you bought for $1,000 is worth like $50. And you just see people like heart crush because they thought like, all this stuff. And it's like, they're like, why do they sell them like? Because they shine it up. That's the whole point. They shine up these beautiful looking rings with the rocks nice. And everything. Yeah. Generally, if you're buying a higher price thing that has like a diamond and stuff that has a higher quality of diamond, that's generally where the price comes for those ones.
Yeah.
But like dress rings and smaller rings, they're not worth shit.
I have never purchased jewelry.
That's fair.
I don't functionally intend to. It's like,
Yeah, so like it's just I learned a lot working there about like gold and diamonds and stones and the prices of things.
It'll be gold plated.
Yeah, and
if
it's like
lucky.
if you want to actually buy beautiful jewelry at prices that they're worth, you go to like a secondhand store that has a licensed jeweler working there. Because we had a licensed jeweler.
Huh.
So
I didn't know you had to be licensed to be a jeweler. I suppose
you
it makes
don't
sense.
have to. But to like do like we had like for example anything we got
Like
in
actual
that had
assessments
diamond
of it.
stuff, we got it sent away to get graded and assessed on
Right.
what clarity of diamond it is, all that sort of stuff. And they come with certificates when you buy them.
Huh.
Going, this is a 2-point diamond that has it's cloudy, et cetera, whatever. So yeah, we have a licensed
trapped in
jeweler
it.
there, so they can no fuss be like to the person, this is why it's worth this much, and they'll be like, oh okay.
I suppose, stop people from throwing tantrums when the fucking thing they bought's not worth, like, not actually that much gold in it.
Yeah. So yeah, they get the Clopex, which is $5 to buy all a nice ice cream, and it's like, God fucking I wish. $5 is not enough to buy one ice cream.
I mean, you could probably get one, but you're not getting fucking six fucking. You're not getting six ice
If you're
creams.
getting a scoop from Baskin Robbins, that's like $9 alone.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like in terms of maybe like an ice cream bar or something.
Yeah, most of those are around $5.50 now.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, they're not cheap. Like a paddle pop alone is like $4.
That's nuts. Because
It
like,
is.
I was in the. I suppose like see like that's you got to think then because like if you go into the Woolworths freezer section, you can get those like frozen ice cream Mars bars and shit, and they're like about $9. So you could probably get like I mean, I haven't really looked, but I know they do have like Lucy's in there, like just singles. So you could probably get like, I don't know. I mean, I think for $5 you could probably get something frozen and sweet.
You could definitely get something, yes.
I mean, not for 6 people though.
No.
Kind of fucked there. That's fucking inflation for you.
And that was the end of the episode. I love that, like, because usually we end on something that's like, gotcha, or something, and that's like, here, $5, gotcha.
Eat shit.
It's like, of course, he's a Transylvanian, like, with a traveling flea circus.
Yeah, I don't know what has to happen in your life for you to be like a traveling flea circus guy, and I'm kind of curious. Like,
Probably better than Transylvania.
I honestly don't. I mean, what is Romania doing these days? I just don't
I
even
know. God.
Might look into that. I mean, it was an okay. Like, this was a good episode. Like, beyond like just some odd bits, but it's like that's the point of the show.
It flowed well.
It flowed.
It didn't
belted along.
It did not feel at any point that we were really suffering a B story that dragged.
Yeah, no, because they're smart with that now. Because like the B story quote was like a slight mention of like baby names. Rather than try to come up with like a B story to fill these spare seconds they've got, they just have like the serialized background.
And they integrated
shit.
Linda's story with the main story and the payoff.
Yeah, really.
which was good because usually like when a character has a side story, it just doesn't go anywhere. Because in a lot of the other episodes where Pete had a side story, it would just be like, haha, Pete can't get women.
Yeah, well, see, the good thing about this one was it was a flavoring for the main story.
Yeah.
Like she was the way that like a bunch of exposition happened, and in a way that was actually like sort of sensible. Okie dokie, Amber, are you ready?
I'm always ready. I'm never ready. I am never ready to hear from the people that write things to us.
Oh yeah, do we normally? I can't even remember what the fucking order was.
We do that after though. Do we?
I don't think so. I think we do.
See,
now I've forgotten.
I swear we do the questions first and then we hear from the people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sweet.
Okay. Nate, see, now you've confused me. All right. Ever felt like this? Have you ever been personally called out by a TV show? Have you ever had fleas or lice? Ever been to a flea circus or even know what one is? Ever been a dog? So, while we were watching this and we were witnessing poor dog in a boy's body Pete explaining himself to his dad. I had a great moment to just point at you. I go, because the whole thing does largely, sort of work as a trans allegory at points. And
I feel no shame.
You are a dog girl.
I am. I feel no
So
shame.
that was particularly. It's like that's a great one too.
It is.
You normally don't get that kind of thoroughness.
Yeah.
In it. I mean, the brutal one for me and the one that still sticks around was like, that episode of The Simpsons, like future drama? Like, it's the episode where Homer's living under the sea finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's a bit in that where, like, Milhouse is crying to Bart about, whether or not Lisa will ever love him. And Bart just says, yeah, but that was back when you were a skinny nerd. Now you're an emotionally crippled mini Hulk. And my friend who'd known me from high school spun around and pointed at me and went, ah! And he spun around and pointed at me so hard he fell out of his chair.
That's God.
It's an armchair.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that's one of those ones, like that happened in 2005. And I just had to wear that. I was like, yep,
Yeah,
it got me in one there. Not a lot of comebacks for that one.
Mm.
And so emotionally crippled mini Hulk has been the fucking... And look, fair. And the calves are a hard place to add mass. There's no... Emotionally crippled mini Hulk. Oh, well. Ever had fleas or lice?
No.
Really? You managed to go through school without fucking getting lice?
Yeah.
I suppose you probably went to, like, a school with indoor children.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a school with yard children. And, like, you'd just, like, normally there was, like, every now and then you might get, like, lice or school sores or, like, ringworm or something. And it was just constant. There
God.
There were times when, like, every time head lice broke out at the school, the place looked like Alien 3 because all the kids would show up with just, like, buzz cuts hair because it was just cheaper than getting the fucking, like, flea shampoo for them.
God, that's funny.
Yeah. And, like, because, that was just constant, like, we also got, like, special categories of shitty, weird school disease. Like, I've had scabies, which I then later, like, much later in life found out, like, I was, like, in my 20s, found out is, like, literally mange. Like, I am a human being who has had mange. And, like, that's just, again, that's because I went to a school full of, like, outside children who, like, don't get to be in the house or on the furniture.
That's nothing worse than getting something like that when it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I have to go here.
Yeah. And, like, what sucked was the treatment for it back then was just, like, this poison you put on your skin. It burnt.
It did, yeah.
And so you had to, like, cover your whole body, like, head to toe in, like, skin-burning poison and just deal with that for 2 hours. That sucked.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I've never had that.
Mange. Actual, yeah, like when you think mangy mutt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember reading about, like, I think it was the Wikipedia article. It's like, in dogs, it's called mange. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, imagine, like, you're going to find that out as an adult.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's like, God fucking damn it. A lot of people could say they haven't had mange, Fucking goddamn yard children. Fucking who let you off your peg? Still annoyed about that. Ever been to a flea circus or even know what one is? I'm not sure what a flea circus is.
I've been to a flea market.
Yeah.
Flea circus.
Look it up, like, bring it up on, like, fucking the computer. I'm curious as to what actually a flea circus is. Because, in my mind, I think it's like, like a mechanical gimmick that you have, like, a fake fucking, or, I mean, because if this actually involved fleas, I'm going to be... It does. Fucking really?
A flea circus is a circus sideshow attraction in which fleas are attached or appear to be attached to miniature carts and other items and encouraged to perform circus acts within a small housing.
Holy
First
fucking
records
shit.
of flea performances were from watchmakers who were demonstrating their metalworking skills. That's crazy.
All right, the watchmakers thing is like, all right, that's the most sense this could have possibly made. Because if someone just decided, I'm gonna glue shit to fleas, that would have broken part of my brain.
Fleas typically only live For a few months, they are observed to see if they have a predisposition for jumping or walking. Once sorted, they are harnessed by carefully wrapping a thin gold or copper wire around their neck. Once in the harness, the fleas usually stay in it for life. The harnesses are attached to props, and strong legs of the flea allow them to move objects significantly larger than themselves. Jumping fleas are used for kicking small, lightweight balls. They are carefully given a ball when they try to jump away, which is not possible because of the harness. They shoot the ball instead. Running fleas can pull small carts and vehicles to rotate a Ferris wheel. There are historical records of fleas glued to the base of flea circus enclosure. Miniature musical instruments were then glued to the flea performers, and their enclosure was heated. The fleas fought to escape, giving the impression of playing instruments. That's fucking insane. And then TV came, and we're like, we don't have to watch the fleas anymore.
Yeah, like...
There's a fucking old guy who's like, fucking, nah, man. This will never replace fleas. Fleas for life. I didn't learn to glue tiny instruments to fleas. Like, where do you even get the tiny instruments? Fuck shit used to be sad, man. You know, like, that's depressing. I think that's the canon. I think that's the actual one from the fucking episode. It looks like it.
Was that just a thing? Like, was the fucking...
I am assuming so.
Oh, holy fucking shit. Fleas in dresses.
Photographed by the Times Microscopic Lens, 1919.
The old curiosity shop.
Fuck me.
Because I legit figured it would be like a mechanism that would make a bunch of shit, and you just say, oh, look, because you can't see the fleas, you know? Why would you be able to see the fucking fleas? Oh, dear God.
There's a video. This is from 1950. This is insanity. I did not realize these were real things.
This is like, that's weird, humans. That's a weird one.
In the 1900s, what else are you gonna fucking do?
I know, like, that's just... Fuck.
You're the weirdo for not liking fleas.
I know. I'm gonna fucking chase my hoop with a stick to the flea circus.
Professor A.G. Gutsakov's Acme Miniature Flea Circus has been touring the United States and Canada since 1996.
I mean, that genuinely sounds like that's a Looney Tunes thing. I mean, is that still going?
Yes.
Oh, God. I think the thing of it is no one gives a shit, really, if you're cruel to fleas, because I just, you know...
They're specks.
Yeah, like, I don't think they even really... The canon is a bit, like, they do the fucking... There's a thing that says no dogs will be admitted to the show. That's what, like, someone researched the fucking flea episode of Round the Twist. That's what that means! I thought this was just all dumb shit some cunt at ABC came up with. No, that was a rigorously researched flea act.
That's crazy.
I feel like that's a skill we can forget. You know? Like, I just don't think there's much in the way of, like, what are we getting out of this? Why is the camera for the flea circus...
So far away.
Yeah, like, genuinely 10 meters away from the flea circus table.
That's crazy. Okay, I've learned of a new world today.
I want to go back to the old one.
That's crazy. Find out more. Visit the website, trainedfleas.com.
They're not... I mean, I don't...
Trainedfleas.com. Trainedfleas.com.
I don't know if you can call those trained. You know?
This website
looks
like it was made in the 90s.
Yeah, no, that's a GeoCities page. You can't fool me. It won't expand to a 1080p. Like it's dead in the middle.
This website has been accessed over 100,000 times since February 1st, 2005.
2005, so 20 years? I'm kind of surprised by that, considering it seems to be the only source of information on flea circuses. And I feel like more than, like... Because again, you know, the most I heard about flea circuses was, like, fucking cartoons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. God, okay.
That has disrupted me.
Yeah.
It disrupts me that A, that exists, and B, this... Like, that's all of that was legitimate flea circus information for this episode
I bet there was a dude really autistic about flea circus and was like, finally, my time to shine.
Just...
Get Dave. He knows about fleas.
Like how much experimentation do you suppose went into like getting the flea ban to work? You know, like figuring out what temperature causes the fleas to like really properly play a bass. You know? Like fucking
Is that why Flea in Red Hot Chili Peppers is called Flea? Do they heat up the stage so he plays his bass?
yeah, it's what makes him dance around like that. Yeah, it's just that and a combination of electrodes. He's there's nothing in there. We don't know what's wrong with him.
Flea is a fascinating person.
I mean, yeah, now that we know what makes him work. Fuck, I can't believe that was an accurate flea circus. That has fucked my brain. That's fucked my brain more than the existence of flea circuses. Because you can tell me, it's all right, yeah. Some weird 1890s shit, you know? What else are you going to do for fun? All right. Like...
The world is such an interesting place when you just... Because, like, you'd never come across this information organically.
No.
Unless you watch this show and we're like, what's
What
a
the
flea
fuck?
circus?
Yeah, is
And
that
then
like...
Look it up.
Because I just never bothered, because, like, I just figured it was, you know, because in the flea circus in the cartoons, the little fleas
Yeah.
would be, like, playing, it's obvious, it's bullshit. So, like, even as a kid, I was like, well, that's just not real.
No.
I understand that.
This is a TVism.
Yeah, I've seen a flea, and I've seen them not do that. I've seen, like, because the weird thing is they can go dormant.
It's creepy.
Yeah, in,
I
like,
don't
dirt.
it. Yeah.
And so you'll sit, like, under the house of my neighbor's house, which, like, you just go into as a kid, like, because it's under a house, you're like, oh, what's down there? And, like, legit went in there one time, like, and came out just, like, legs covered in fleas. Because they all go, hey, something warm, and then they just jump on it. And that was fucked. I don't think they ever really dealt with that. They just, like, shut the door and put a lock on it. It's like, that's just where the fleas live now.
Fair.
Yeah. So God help you if a pet got under there. Well, now we all know what a fucking goddamn flea circus is. I don't fucking... I'm honestly slightly surprised Goodna didn't have a flea circus going around at some point, you know? It just feels... Well, I suppose that...
You, the children, were the circus.
Oh, God, yeah, we were too. That's why they glued that guitar to me. God fucking damn it! Ever been a dog? You puppy slut.
Look. Yes. I don't know how else to answer that question.
Well, you don't need to.
I have some funny stories about that question. We walked into a Zing the other day, just having a look.
I mean, Zing
And-
has to be prepared for this sort of nonsense.
Me and my partner, we wear choker chains, because they're very
Because sometimes you won't shut up.
jewelry adjacent. They're just chains. They look like
Yeah.
chains rather than wearing a full like dog collar, because those are uncomfortable, and also I don't want that attention. So a lot of people just go, "Oh, I like your chain," you know.
It's just a fucking
that sort of
chain,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like I'm wearing a chain. This guy goes, "Oh, I like your collars,"
Uh-oh.
and I was like, "It's like, I know what you are," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Because like I remember one time this lady was like, "Oh, I love."
Adult attack.
One time this lady was like, "Oh, I love your chain. Where did you get it?" And I'm just like,
Pet barn.
And she's like, "Oh." Buying that was funny because the attendant goes, "Oh, have you ever used one of these before?" And I'm like, "No."
I feel like
And she's like, "Oh, what sort of dog do you have?" And I'm like, "A big one."
I feel like there'd be a split in pet barn employees. I feel like 50-50, some will know and probably do that, and then some just won't know.
The best was once when Krista lived with her parents. She got a text message because they're having an inspection, and they were like, "We've hidden the dog paraphernalia."
We've hidden the dog paraphernalia.
That's fun. But yeah,
Anyway.
I have no shame. I know what I am.
Now we get from your embarrassing stories. I do love that one about like just the person coming up and going, "Nice collar." It's like, okay,
It was very funny.
yeah, this is gonna get weird, isn't it? You're gonna make this weird, aren't you? Okay, But now we get to laugh at our listeners, which is always much more fun.
Look, all I'm saying, like, I may be a dog, but I didn't have like a uranium shed or axe heads or the head injuries.
Oh, God, yeah, fuck. I mean, I'm sorry, but, like, you are on the less men.
Yeah, I'm the leader.
Yeah, you're going to be beast, basically.
Yay.
I mean, this one starts with greetings to you, Twists, Amber, and Gabe, but, like, greetings is missing the second G, so it just says greetings, which is really making me laugh.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings! Like, it's accidental, but it sets a tone.
Perfect.
And thanks for your work spinning the rusted memory of Round the Twist into a decent podcast. I have felt like this. I have been involved in several races of several very silly kinds, but the best story I have to share comes not from not one race I completed in, but from one in which I was a race official. This was a day of downhill mountain biking, usually something I'd enjoy, but in this case a broken bone relegated me to the sidelines as a finish line timekeeper. The course wasn't a particularly difficult one. I blew out of the local pine forest because the intent wasn't for it to be a family-inclusive day. What family inclusive meant in the finest Aussie tradition was for all the non-competing adults to get shit-faced by 10 a.m., all the non-competing teenagers to go forage for magic mushies as soon as their parents were drunk, and for all the competitors to refuse to take it seriously. Due to the refusal of the competitors to take it even a little bit seriously, the more adrenally starved of them got into the habit of trying to cross the finish line as fast as possible, on as few wheels as possible, made easier by the very small drop just before the finish, and we hit double digits of them eating shit in the slippery mud churn they managed to grind up over the line. Toward the end of the day, however, I saw one competitor hit the true height of this insanity. Most competitors were completing the course in 4 to 5 minutes, but this guy had started almost 10 ago, and I was beginning to wonder. As I was reaching for the walkie to ask what was going on, around the corner came a guy with an off-center skating helmet and abrasions on every limb on a mountain unicycle.
Ugh.
That is fucking special. I have seen one of those. They, like, in my old place at Galway Street, there was this big long footpath that ran along the creek. And at, like, a certain time of day, I could just look out, like, my sort of back door and see just this guy tearing by on a unicycle. And it was like a mountain
I've
unicycle.
seen him. Yes. Yeah.
And he was using it to commute.
Yeah.
And his legs are pumping because there's no,
insane.
like, you can't flywheel this shit. It doesn't
No.
work. And I'm like, that can't be more convenient than any other option. Literally any other option. This has got to be this is in Australia. It's probably the same fucking guy. Mountain unicycle. The 30-centimeter drop at the end might as well have been meters for what it did to him. The wail he emitted as his seat bounced him clean off the thing by his nuts is still lodged in my head. Oh, that is fantastic. He rotated horizontal and landed face first in the mud with a clear oof, which cut off the wail in the anticlimactic way windings always seem to do, on windings. First aiders got him before I could, so I stayed back. To this date, this is all I know of the guy. I tried to look him up a couple of years later, but haven't ever found anything about him. But I still think about him from time to time, wondering why. Thanks again for twisting, and I look forward to whatever crusty piece of Australiana you resurrect next. Regards, just some drunk fuck.
Huzzah.
That... I just love the idea of, like, looking and seeing, like... Because I only ever saw that guy on, like, a footpath. Seeing a human like that trying to do, like, a downhill mountain bike, like, I feel like that weird shit where they get on the mountain bikes and then just jump around a statue or a bunch of blocks. I think maybe he could do that, but I feel like you're going to be lacking an awful lot without, like, being able to grip something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what are you proving? You know? Like, are you really going to think people are going to go, hey, yeah, unicycle? And it's just going to be
Maybe he just played Unirally a lot as a kid and was like, fuck yeah, I love unicycles.
I'll show all of you. I'll take twice the usual amount of time to get down what's supposed to be an inclusive downhill, mountain biking course covered in injuries. I do love, like, yeah, because you can't, if you're going to fucking do a hard landing on a mountain bike, you stand up on the pedals because you're holding the handlebars and you can brace using the knees and not your nuts. That is fan-fucking-tastic. I love that. That's a good one. Good time of a day to you, Amber and Gabe. I hope you two are having a lovely day. I have indeed felt like this, and at times I wish I had not.
That's always a good start.
The best example of a race I participated in was a child tractor pull. Huh?
That just
Okay.
feels like child cruelty.
I know, like, I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. Like, is a tractor pulling a bunch of children? Is it like a fight between the children and the tractor? Or children the tractor and they're pulling something? Or is it like just kids tied together and they're trying to like see who's stronger?
See, in my mind, a tractor pull is like they turn the tractor into like neutral and you got to pull the tractor.
I thought it was like two tractors tied together and they had a tug of war but with tractors.
I'm going to just Google it. And
Yeah,
see
look this
what's
up
the first
before I
thing that
read
comes
on
up.
because I'm kind of like...
Okay, tractor pulling. Tractor and truck and tractor pulling, also known as power pulling, is a form of motorsport competition at which
No one calls it
antique
power.
or modified tractors pull a heavy drag or sled along an 11-meter wide, 100-meter long track.
Okay.
With the winner being the tractor that pulls the drag the farthest.
Okay, so it's not tug of war between two fucking...
No. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I'd watch that with kids. I think it'd be funny as
Are they
fuck.
pulling the kids or are the kids driving the tractor?
No, it's like two kids tied, like they're wearing like a harness. You get two of those fucking harness kids, right? You know, the real bonkers ones. And then you just like chain the harnesses together, like I did to my grandma's little yappy dogs one time with the leashes. And then you just fucking watch that pulsar orbit. It's a lot of fun. I watched them both because if something happened at the door, they'd both run like screaming at the door, right? Because
Yeah.
like that's their only thing that they do beyond piss on things. And watching them both simultaneously just go screaming at the door because I'd like connected their fucking collars, like one's on one side of like the leg of a table and one's on the other, and just watching them yap 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 doink and then just fucking conquer straight into each other was absolutely hilarious. The best example of a race, the concept of a tractor. For those unfamiliar with the concept of a tractor pull, treasure your ignorance. That means your family tree likely does not resemble a wreath and/or you have just avoided the rural Midwest. Think of a bunch of rednecks souping up their tractors and seeing who can pull the big weight the fastest and the furthest. As this was one for preteens, they didn't trust us with actual tractors, just pedal-powered ones, or one, as the event was on a strict budget. I don't know what they did, like, pedal, like, as in, like, okay, right. So it's like there's like a pedal tractor, and we're making teenagers pull it. Okay. All right, so that makes more sense now as to what the fucking competition is. Because then it's like leg strength. I was like, okay, we're all just using the one tractor. It's like, I don't know what the fucking deal is here. So one at a time, we came up, pedaled as hard as we could to have a toy tractor pull a piece of metal as far as we could go without stopping. We were judged on both how far we got and how fast we got there. As it counted speed, I am counting it as a race. I didn't win one of the big prizes as I didn't place, but I did well enough to win a pork chop.
Just a pork chop, not a meat tray, just a pork chop.
Yeah, just that's very funny. I also have flashed a cruise ship. I was in Alaska visiting my uncle, and he had wanted to go goat hunting. I was not experienced enough to go up the cliff with him. Yeah, because like the goats get on the fucking cliffs, and they're just. I mean, I figure like if you got a gun or something, it's just like target shooting, really. But also, I just feel kind of guilty about that. I mean, you see that shit where like eagles are just like, oh, I'm gonna eat you, and they just swoop down and like pull the goat off the cliff, and then it's just like, well, you know, you've evolved unbelievable balance, but you have not evolved the ability to like fall 100 meters without exploding into a delicious pile. Right. I was not experienced enough to go up the cliff with him, but also didn't want to get left behind to deal with his mother-in-law who was visiting. She was, to put it politely, a difficult woman to spend time with. I love these choices, like, let's see, old lady, cliff. Old lady, dangerous cliff. Dangerous cliff. So I watched the boat while my uncle climbed a cliff with a high-powered rifle so he could shoot a mountain goat and then carry it back down to the sea. I'm spending my time fishing and listening out for hail on the boat's radio, and I end up falling off the boat. As I am bleeding, there's just so many weird elements to this story that it's fucking up my sentence. Because, like, the next bit is, like, as I am bleeding a halibut. And I'm like, okay, your bleeding is like, oh, no, you've cut like a fish and you're getting the blood off of it, and that's how you fell off the...
Okay, yeah.
Because, like, I'm trying to work out what the fuck that means. Like, is that, like, an idiom? And this is what you were really doing.
Yeah.
So I am suddenly covered in fish blood and freezing Alaskan water. I get back on deck, strip off my clothes, and scrub down. I am not too worried because who is going to see me? The answer to that is a cruise ship. going by likely looking for whales. They were a bit of a distance off, as I was near an inlet, but I was full frontal facing several decks of tourists, some likely with binoculars, looking for marine wildlife to bother, and some possibly looking at the deck of a local fishing boat with a 15-year-old boy furiously rubbing at his chest to get fish blood off himself. I truly hope I made someone's vacation slideshow, or at least made their day. To get the mood back up, there is the time that a ram tried to murder my family and me. So my dad would have had organized a horse riding trip for the family. We would be taken by a guide across some nearby hilly country, and then ride back to the main farmland and then go out to dinner as a family. A nice day would be had by all. As we were going up a particularly rocky path, a ram decided that today of all his issues could be solved by trying to murder one of the horses. He charged, missed the lead horse, but hit a nearby rock so hard it sounded like a gunshot.
Oh, God.
Everyone's horse saved mine, my younger sister's, and the guides just straight booked it. My sister found a way to calm hers as mine nearly threw me. The ram, likely thinking that was enough fun, decided to just disappear. Meanwhile, the guide started calling for someone with a gun, which seemed like a great addition to a situation with children running about with terrified giant animals. We eventually tracked down the remainder of my family, and we rode back to the barn with the guide apologizing profusely. Honestly, I had a blast, even with the ram, and it has not dampened my love of riding. I don't get much of a chance to do so anymore, but sitting on a horse riding alone while not being threatened by mentally unstable wildlife is one of the most relaxing things in the world. Sending you all the support I can from the weird Fallout outpost I call home. Warmest regards, Gnome Pickles. That is funny as shit. Like, that's just a lot of, like, a different lifestyle. You know? Like, I'm gonna bleed my halibut into the ocean. Hope someone doesn't see my penis.
There, but for the grace of God.
From a KeepetClassy fan with no clever names for you. I apologize for the length of these. These stories are going to have a connected theme of a 19-year-old's ambition to meet women.
Whoa.
So you're Pete.
You're Pete.
Have you ever been in a race? In college, there was a group weekend trip planned to visit the Bear Valley Mountain Resort in California. The plan was a cold weekend of drinking, skiing, and getting high, the last of which I had never done. We invited close friends, their significant others, and their significant others' friends to help balance out the female-to-male ratio. One night in one of the park areas, the party boy of our group set up some logs and glasses of whiskey atop the logs. It was a game of his own creation. 2 men would race from the starting log, stopping at all 5 logs to drink. It was foul, cheap whiskey, the kind made to get you drunk quickly. On the last log was a roll of his homegrown weed, which he had named the Sledgehammer. It reminds me of that bit from the Ted movie. Yeah, it was the movie. Where he's just like, oh, I got this from my guy. It's called Brain Eraser. Ooh. And then, like Mark Wahlberg's like, I don't know if I want that. I want something mellow. Oh, no, that is mellow. The only other stuff he had was a strain called Gorilla Panic, another one called They're Coming, and then finally something called This Is Permanent. I just love This Is Permanent. In the party was a girl named Ellen, who over the last day and a half I had been chatting with in the hopes of sparking something. It was not going well as I recall. In a last-ditch effort, I volunteered my friend's drinking racing game in hopes of impressing her. I was completely outmatched from the get-go, but was feeling bummed out and just ready to win anything. The race began, and after the second log and second whiskey, I thought I might have a chance. My shoes were in better order for snow running, and I was well ahead by half a log. Then, I think the whiskey didn't mix well with the running. Everything spun for a moment, and I stumbled and lost the lead. I still made it to the end, but when I took my very first weed hit in my life, I vomited. If that wasn't bad enough, I also shat myself, but thankfully no one knew.
Excuse me?
Or if they did, they didn't say.
Are we just going to glaze over? Like, how did we get there?
I feel like shitting yourself is the story, you know?
Because, like, I need an explanation. Because
I
like,
also shit myself.
Did you like fart and you weren't safe?
Yeah.
Like,
did you just vomit and shit at the exact same time?
But like, were you so physically ill, like with the amounts of substances? Because like, I get it. Well, if you haven't had weed ever, you're gonna get fucked in both taking it in and also the delivery to your body because you don't know how to smoke.
If you're not a fucking drinker and you just did like 2 belts of fucking shitty goddamn toilet, whiskey, and you've just been running and got your heart rate up.
Yeah.
And it's some guy's like fucking regional California variety called Sledgehammer.
It's laced with
I used to
PCP.
always think I'd shat myself. Like, you ever fart and it has like that slight bit of warmth, and then your brain goes, wait, did I shit myself?
Yeah.
And like, if you're high and like paranoid as fuck, the entire time it's like, I shit myself. Have I shit myself? No. Have I shit myself? Maybe it's just sweat. Oh, what if it's shit though? Then you're covered in shit.
Yeah.
Like,
this is a bad situation.
Yeah. Ellen was nice to me the rest of the trip, but I can tell there was no potential date there, which I think is
she
fair.
knew you shit yourself.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew. Did he shit himself? Why is he doing
that guy
anything
just
about
shit
it?
himself.
He just shit himself. He just shit all over himself. He has to know we know, right? Rewind years earlier. Have you ever ridden a horse? Rewind years earlier to when I was 12 on a school trip to a horse ranch. First thing I learned was that horses are huge and also fast. TV at the time really doesn't give you the sense of speed that seeing them sprint up close gives you. I was pretty adventurous at this point in life, so I wanted to ride a horse. A college girl who was one of the hosts of the event was offering backseat rides on the biggest and fastest horse of the group. I managed to get my turn and saddled up. The pretty red-headed college girl in flannel asked me to hold on tightly, and I was not ready for touching an older girl. Once the horse started moving, I got a stiffy, and I knew she could tell did how closely I was holding on. She asked several times if I was okay, to which I responded with just nervous sounds. God. Like,
the word stiffy is very funny to me.
Stiffy is hilarious. That's a great word choice, especially for like a 12-year-old. But that is... God.
Because like... boner or erection are the more common ones I hear nowadays.
These days, yeah.
But like stiffy,
Stiffy Stiffy was fairly common back in the day in Australia.
Yeah, definitely.
In retrospect, I couldn't have been the first kid with a stiffy she had to deal with, but what if I was? I don't know, man. Like, she probably collected little kid stiffies at that point. You just...
The thing is with situations like
you
this...
were both molested.
The moment you draw any attention to the fact that you are uncomfortable or do not know what to do, you've ruined it. It's just that. Like, you just pretend nothing happened.
Yeah. That's the social contract.
You act normal.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, if, for example, someone was sitting in my back and I felt that, I would just be like, ignore it.
Yeah.
Do not bring attention to it. This person is suffering enough.
It's the horse. It's the horse stiffy. All right? That's just... We've all
been there.
Yeah. We've all been there. Have you ever been naked in public? Okay, here is the really bad story.
Oh
goody.
Right. So shitting yourself wasn't the bad story?
The best, I love how just like that was just, and I shit myself, like just as a fucking...
thrown in there?
Yeah, I vomit. It's like, oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
that's perfectly understandable. You're fucking running, you're having a bunch of booze and weed you're not prepared for, yeah. Also, I shit myself. Huh. That sounds like a you thing. After a lot of swings and a lot of misses, I was finally making progress in my love life. Things were getting serious with a friend of mine named Renee. We had hinted at finding a secure place to finally get into each other's parents before making things official. Both of us still living at home made that tricky. We finally settled on a plan, though. In Central California, there was a cliffside hot springs place that we bought a couple of tickets for. It was actually a really cool location. It has several flights of stairs that lead up the cliff and to these small private nooks where a hot tub was. It stretched the definition of hot spring, but it was good enough for the goal we had. Once we were there, we got intimate in the 45 minutes we had available. As we were wrapping things up, I stood up in the tub and everything went blurry and my head pounded. I don't remember the feeling after that, but I came to in an ambulance. I was thankfully okay. From what the EMT had explained, you are not really meant to exert yourself when your body is trying to relax, and a hot bath is nearly as relaxed as you can get. So when I stood up too quickly, pressure ran to my head and I fainted. I remember looking around and noticing that Renee was not with me. A few details were shared about how they found me, but my shame didn't need help filling in the blanks. I imagined attempting to step out of the pool and ending up sprawled out naked on the floor. I spoke with Renee and we decided not to pursue things further after that. We decided to just go our separate ways and get as far from that town as possible, and we did. She moved further north, and I eventually got a gig on the other side of America. There is such a thing as running from your past. Here's hoping it's going to chuckle. Have a good one.
I don't think that's worse than shitting yourself, personally.
I mean, like, waking up... I mean, at least you finished, I suppose. At least you got that done.
Like,
better than like getting in and then blacking out and then waking up and it's like, oh hey, you got like a case of weird stiffy.
Or like passing out and shitting yourself.
Oh god, in the tub.
Yeah.
Shit in the tub. Greetings, Twistlings. As the one-time occupant of the house with the acid shelf, I fear I've indeed felt like
Acid
this.
shelf.
Oh, God. Ever been or race? I ran cross-country for my school team in rural Scotland, where it rains 250 days a year. As I am sure you can imagine, this sucked. The woods we ran in? You ran in the woods! You're not supposed to do cross-country in a fucking woods! It's supposed to be a, large open area where other humans can see you and you won't get snatched by the fae folk. Our cross-country was in a woods. That's not a cross-country. That's what prisoners do to escape chain gangs.
Oh, Lord.
The woods we ran in were cold and muddy with the occasional discarded syringe. Much like the rest of rural Scotland near the turn of the millennium, the experience lay at the midpoint between Angela's Ashes and Trainspotting. I now live in California where things are different, and where a couple of years ago I unintentionally participated in a street race. I was with a friend driving a recently hot-rodded truck across the state to deliver some stuff and trying to get home the same day. About an 850-mile round trip. He had put a very overpowered engine in it and tuned it that farther. Due to some confusion with numbers, he also geared it wrong. It didn't accelerate well, but had a top speed which depended only on the bravery of the driver. He also welded a huge spiked steel contraption to the front, which looked like something from a Warhammer 40k mini or a Mad Max film. Although you've written Max film. Very funny.
I love Max.
Yeah. Australia's greatest export, Max. He's just a guy. We left in the early hours of the morning and things immediately started going wrong, as they will in a 50-year-old truck which has just been rebuilt and has a much more modern and very powerful engine installed. After various breakdowns and half-assed repairs, late evening found us 300 miles from drinking Pepto-Bismol from the bottle in a gas station. A mishap with a burst fuel hose had soaked my vest in gasoline, so I was shirtless. This, along with my mohawk and the smell of petrol on my skin, gave off a certain tweaker aesthetic. Yes. The truck had also developed a more threatening aura. The exhaust had fallen off and was in the bed, so the engine was loud. The headers on one side kept coming loose, adding to the cacophony. An electrical gremlin had reset the gauges, so only the speedo worked, and it was reading nonsense. If the engine shut off, the only way to restart it was hot-wiring it from within the engine bay. To top it all off, my friend, who had been doing most of the driving, kept falling asleep at the wheel. Good Lord. I had had enough and took over. I was very ready to be home, so while the other drivers slept, I put the foot down. I was just driving up I-5, the main north-south freeway in California, which is quiet after midnight, and I had a crate of energy drink and was rapidly adding to the heap of empty cans in the back. Falling asleep was not an issue, but in drinking 10 cans of energy drink, I may have overdone it. The result of this was my rolling out from the darkness behind several muscle cars engaged in a street race, the truck making a terrible sound and looking like it belonged to a Mad Max film. I was also leaning out the window shirtless, screaming incoherently about being the Night Rider. I blame having been awake for 25 hours at that point. I tailgated them from a couple of miles before they moved over to let me past. I counted as a victory that I was going both faster than them and was unsettling enough that they didn't want me behind them. According to the speedo, I was doing 30 miles per hour. When we recalibrated it later, it turned out I'd been doing more like 4 times that. That's great, because that's going to be a story that those people are telling for years. Like, remember when the road demon showed up? We just met, because that's in a Scottish accent, too.
Yeah.
You know, like a Scottish accent screaming, "I'm the Night Rider," out of a fucking, ramshackle bullshit truck. Like, yeah, if you drive on this road at 1 o'clock in the morning on this day, you might meet the fucking Scottish road demon.
God.
Ever been naked in public? So many times. I sense that this may be one of those times when my impression of what is normal doesn't match with most of society. I live in San Francisco, and the region has various nude beaches, and a friend lived in a clothing-optional commune for a while. San Francisco also has its fetish street fairs twice a year, where being mostly nude is a popular choice. Last year I was wandering around at one wearing not much, and unexpectedly developed an excitable furry on a leash for the afternoon. Alright. However, as Gabe delights far more in the feral than the wholesome, I will recount a moment of group public nudity from when I lived in Scotland before emigrating to the States. I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and it was Hogmanay, okay? A festival celebrated in Scotland on December 31st.
Oh, okay.
This mainly involves getting earth-shatteringly drunk to the extent that both January 1st and 2nd are public holidays, while the bulk of the populace recovers from 2-day hangover. Not beating the fucking stereotype there, Scotland. I'm sorry.
No.
That's fucking funny. A bit before midnight, a bunch of us decided to leave the drunken house party and scale the hill called Arthur's Seat in the center of the city to watch the fireworks. Already moderately liquored up and armed with an ample supply of cider, cheap whiskey, and sherry, we embarked on the 2-mile climb. We drank ourselves to the top where after the fireworks someone suggested we should start the new year frolicking. This raised questions. It turned out that he meant dancing around naked. All but one of us was quite drunk enough to think this was a great idea, and the remaining person was willing to watch over the clothes. It was all very fun, and the exercise and booze were enough to keep us warm. However, the clothes watcher quickly became bored and their bottle empty, so they went back down the hill to get another drink. With our clothes. We were drunk enough to not be bothered by this and continued until the alcohol supply started to dwindle. Being drunk and in the dark, we managed to walk off the wrong side of the hill and missed the main path, which ended up with about 10 of us taking quite a steep, scrambly route back down while totally naked. It also meant a moderate walk around the base of the hill and back to the party. The people we met were remarkably unperturbed, and some of the middle-aged women seemed rather excited at several people, mainly men in their early 20s, naked, given the look one gave us, and then her husband, I fear for his pelvis. There's not a whole lot more to say after that. We returned to the party and continued the national tradition of getting shit-faced. I think the following morning was one of the times I woke naked on the glass kitchen table in my flat. This was an occasional occurrence and terrified one of the roommates the university had randomly assigned me. As ever, I'm enjoying the podcast. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.
That's funny as shit.
Good luck on living in Scotland.
Well, it doesn't have to anymore, fortunately.
Well, I guess.
I do, because again, it's the Scottish accent that makes that fucking car story. Oh, I'm the knight. It's Scottish, this fucking dementedly loud ancient truck that shouldn't be going that fast is going that fast. Like that's like a fucking American yokai.
You're not wrong.
Greetings, fellow citizens of Earth. Have you ever been involved in a race? Being in the Boy Scouts involved several varieties of races, including miniature wooden cars, miniature wooden boats, miniature wooden spacecraft, and one where you cut head armholes in a cardboard box, paint it to look like a race car, and wear it while you run laps against another kid doing the same.
Jesus.
And at the halfway point, your pit crew / parents change your socks and shoes, and then you run the rest.
Okay. That's a lot
Time to race the children.
That's a lot to take in.
Have you ever been naked in public or the open? My hippie ex had a thing for fucking in the woods, and I, of course, was helpless before her power. I almost got caught a couple of times because we weren't as far off the trail as we thought. We later broke up because, among other things, she lied about needing rent money and instead used it on whippets. Oh, that is fucking funny as shit.
I mean, God.
How many whippets can you buy with rent money?
A fucking lot of whippets.
I know. I never fucking... It's just that is one of the most low-rent fucking, ways to get fucked up on Earth, and I once drank bitters. Have you ever ridden a horse? I rode a horse once as part of a guided tour in the mountains. I'm pretty sure it had lost the will to live, but kept trudging along anyway. See you all in the funny papers. I know.
I like how short and sweet that was. That was
no.
That was really good.
Because the operant part of that tale was just, and instead used it on whippets, and that's just 6 words. Honey, did you spend it all on whippets? Hello, Manson, Lamps, Morton, and El Garbulus. It's Rob again. Have ever been naked in public? Going to pull a Gabe and extend this to someone I saw. Over a decade ago now, but one weekend there was a party at the village.
This has to be the most, just to interject, the most answered question.
I think so, yeah.
That we've ever had. Anyway, continue.
One weekend there was a party at the village my reenactment group has. There's always just a weird detail. Anyhow, Luke brings a colleague from work who seems interested in what we do. Steadily over the course of the evening, as everyone gets drunk, this guy gets increasingly agitated before trying to fight Aaron, the largest guy there. He throws a few sloppy haymakers, none of which connect, both at Aaron and another person who came over to see what the commotion was. Runs partway around the tavern and punches out Luke, who'd stepped outside to also see what the commotion was, before running off into a nearby bush screaming nonsense. We get Luke up off the ground, who gratefully only had a bloodied nose and nothing too serious, and get him to phone this whack job's partner to come pick him up, whilst we try to locate him. Not a task anyone wanted to do, but needed to figure out where the hell they were so we'd get rid of them. And the neighbor to his this property was a violent ex-con who threatened to murder the owner, and who'd probably kill the guy for seeing his grow operation. It's always a fucking detail, Like, I don't know if I want to go to a party if, like, it's neighboring a place with a grow operation where a guy might shoot me.
Yeah, no thanks.
We eventually find the guy naked in the open village kitchen, squatting above the sink, shitting into it, just as his partner arrives to get an eyeful of this maniac. I will never forget, upon realizing he'd been found, his hoarse cry of, "Injustice!" before barreling towards his partner's car. Nobody had found his clothes, so we got packed home naked with a sloppy bottom by a woman trying to assuage the massive embarrassment she felt and calm down this violent drunk. Suffice to say, this ruined the mood for the rest of the night. I mean, I don't know, like, that's something to talk about for a while. I mean, at least I think him being shot by the drug guy, that would have ruined the mood.
Just a little.
Ever ridden a horse? Sure. We had several growing up as a kid. My mum loved riding, and we used to drag me along on rides through fire trails here, there, and everywhere. It was so routine that I learned to fall asleep on horseback like I was some hunted child of the steppes. Despite all of this, I never managed to develop a sense of balance to manage the jolt between moving from a walk to a canter or whatever. But that's mundane stuff, so let's add some blood to proceedings. My cousin, much like my mother, liked horses too, and had her own. One day, she's with her uncle and her boyfriend, showing the latter said horse, which seemed slightly agitated. As they're exiting the paddock this horse is in, it charges and bowls over the boyfriend before stomping its forehooves into the guy's legs and latching onto his head with its teeth, alternating between seemingly trying to tear him apart and shaking him by the head. Eventually, they separate the two and get this guy to hospital, where, among other things, he had to get his scalp sewn back on. This soured my cousin and her boyfriend's relationship immensely. Yeah, dude, you're going to get eaten by a horse.
Scalp sewing.
Also a follow-up from my previous email. It would seem that junk mail caught and deleted those previous answers. Outlook has autofill for send addresses from previous emails, so it isn't my spelling. All I have to do is mash I, and the address I copy-pasted over a year ago pops up. Junk mail on almost all email systems nowadays, including dinosaurs like Yahoo, deletes things after 30 days. And you do these things on average a month apart, so anything that was there from prior episodes has been long since deleted.
My email doesn't delete shit.
Oh, well, this is this one. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe this one does it.
Okay. That's weird. If anything, my email holds on to emails too long.
Yeah. I've got shit from 2006 in there. That's a long time ago.
God, it is. The passage of time marches on.
Like, I don't know, man. There's like... Is that inbox or spam? I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck, like... I mean, I don't know. I've got spam from St. John's Ambulance Home Lottery.
You must have won.
You've won. Congratulations. Shit in a jacuzzi.
For enough money, sure.
There's always these little details. You know? It's just... windows into other lives and ways. Alright. Well, that's that. We'll get the next one done probably sooner than 3 months, I'm going to assume.
Yes.
But remember, if you want to delight us and the world, our questions today are: have you ever been personally called out by a TV show? Ever had fleas or lice? Ever been to a flea circus or even know what one is? Ever been a dog? Send your answers to ihavefelt.like.this@yahoo.com. It's all one word, all lowercase. I have felt like this. And I look forward to reading your sad, weird little stories about the way people live. Until then, I have been Gabriel Twist.
I have been Amber Twist.
And we will return soon.